Thandi was light as a petal, with wings that shimmered violet and gold. She lived at the edge of a lush forest, where flowers bloomed in 1,000 shades and sunlight danced through tall grasses. But Thandi wasn't drawn to flowers like the others. She was drawn to the sky. Each morning, she stared upward, where clouds drifted like islands and mist curled between them. "That's not for us," the elder butterflies warned. "The wind pulls too strong. Nothing blooms up there." But Thandi believed otherwise. One day, when the air was still and warm, she fluttered higher than ever before past the tallest tree, past a hawk's feather caught in the wind, past even the bees who buzzed near the upper branches. She rose into the clouds, heart thudding, wings trembling, and there, suspended between the sky's hush and the sun's kiss, she found it a floating garden. Petals bloomed in impossible colors. Dew clung to leaves shaped like stars. The air shimmered like morning song. Thandi hovered in awe. The garden wasn't one place, but many tiny sky islands connected by breeze bridges and flower chains. She drifted from bloom to bloom, sipping sky nectar and brushing pollen from petals no one below had ever seen. As she rested beneath a glowing leaf, a whisper reached her, a rustle, almost like a sigh, a gentle voice. "This place is fading." Thandi turned. A small moth, pale and tired, rested nearby. "The garden floats because of the wind bloom," the moth said. "It only grows once in 100 seasons. And now, it's wilting." Thandi's chest fluttered. "Can we fix it?" she asked. The moth pointed with one wing to the farthest sky island, veiled in fog. "If you carry the last wind bloom seed to the center bloomstone, it may lift us again." Without hesitation, Thandi took the seed, light as dust, glowing with blue fire. She tucked it between her wings and set off. The winds were stronger now. She wove between currents and darted past twisting petals. One breeze tried to toss her, but she curled mid-air, wings folding like a whisper. The sky tested her, but Thandi had spent her life listening to wind songs. She reached the center bloomstone, a large white flower pulsing softly in the sky's heart. But it had dulled. Its petals hung low. The sky garden shuddered beneath her, drifting lower toward the trees below. Thandi pressed the seed gently into the center. For a moment, nothing happened. Then light, bright as sunrise. Wind spiraled upward. The garden pulsed. Petals unfolded. The sky brightened. She flew back just in time to see the sky islands rising, lifting one by one. The flowers turned toward her, not in thanks but in greeting, as if she had always belonged here. The moth hovered beside her, strength returned. "You carried the wind, little one." Thandi smiled. Below, the forest looked small now. The wind tugged at her gently, not to pull her down, but to dance. She spun once, twice, in the golden air. She stayed in the sky garden for a while, tending petals, guiding breezes, learning from moths and sky bees. She mapped each cloud path, every hush blossom and sunroot vine. When she returned to the forest days later, the others gasped. "You survived? You flew too far. Was it empty?" Thandi shook her wings. It was full. From that day, young butterflies gathered at the treetop edge. They asked her to tell them stories of floating petals, star leaves, and the seed that carried a garden. And some days, when the breeze is just right, Thandi flies upward again, vanishing into the mist. The sky garden still floats, hidden between clouds. And sometimes, when the light bends right, its colors ripple across the forest floor. The butterflies below look up and wonder, because Thandi didn't just discover the sky, she brought a piece of it home.